Ladies and gentlemen, everyone Trump endorses wins their primary. Well, let's look at that. Almost everyone Trump endorses wins their primary, but is he padding his record? So this is an August 26, 2020 article. Now you had Carey in Ohio who won yesterday. You can look, before we get to the 538 article that talks about how he has a pretty much, 88 to 90%, 98% win rate is nothing short of extraordinary. 98% win rate, meaning, 98% of the time when he endorses somebody, that person wins. We say, well, that's not exactly true. Here are some other numbers. Okay, in battleground primaries in 2020, according to Ballotpedia, 91%. He's 21-2. Now, in special elections in 2020, he was 3-2, so 60%. But in general endorsements in 2020, it was 140-142. It's 77% according to Ballotpedia. 2018, he did well. He was 15-2 in battleground primaries. So in battleground primaries, where you're going to have very passionate Republicans or conservatives, they love Trump. So in battleground states, you're going to have generally people in areas that, like, if there are Republicans in a battleground state, they're going to be pretty passionate and they're going to like Trump. So I'll put the Ballotpedia article below. You can look at all his House and Senate and special election and primary endorsements. You look at, there's a little discrepancy in the numbers from Ballotpedia and from 538. The 538 article was written October 26, so that could be a reason. That could be the reason. But up until October 26, 2020, he had a 98%, according to a 98% win rate. Now, you got to take also into account something. He had almost 100% negative media coverage. Studies have said that he had 92% negative media coverage. It's really something along the lines of 100%. Or 97%. This man has been, every accusation under the sun, anything you could possibly accuse someone of, he's been accused of. They haven't taken him to a court of law. They haven't accused him or charged him or indicted him in a court of law. They'll never do that because he's not a criminal. Trump is not a criminal. This is a fact. If he was a criminal, the entire American political establishment could have found something by now. He didn't work with Russia. That was an absurd tinfoil hat fantasy. It never happened. They used a dossier in Comey's memos and a whole bunch of intel chiefs who despised him. You had media fomenting misinformation every single day, lying every single day, and then they accused Trump of misinformation and lying. So they're guilty of what they accused Trump of doing all the time. He never pressured Zelensky. That you can kind of say, well, the ellipsis, oh my God. He never actually used the words, if you don't do this, you will not get this. The words in Hunter's emails are, how can you use your influence on behalf of the company? And then we know that there was influence utilized on behalf of the company. So, see, it's blasphemy to put two and two together there. But the pandemic wasn't Trump's fault. Tell me how it's Trump's fault, but not Cuomo's fault, who, by the way, 15,000 families suffered from his decision-making, Andrew Cuomo, according to Representative Ron Kim, a very courageous Democrat. By the way, I had a fantastic live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, hit subscribe to this channel. If you enjoy this segment and you enjoy my work, my super thanks is below. So the super thanks button is right next to the like and the share button. Please go ahead if you want to buy a cup of coffee for me or if you want to support the channel in any way you'd like. The super thanks is right next to the like, share button. Just scroll to the right and you'll see the super thanks, like super chat for the uploads. Be here for the live streams. I'll have a live stream tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific. And if you want to read my writing in the Hill, the Huffington Post, Salon, the Jerusalem Post, other publications, go to hagoodman.com. You can see my debates there as well. My Patreon is there as well if you want to support my work long term. The two articles will be below. President Trump, this is a very interesting like fact, or there's something bizarre about American politics when you have half the country, the Intelligentsia, the 80 million Democrats who voted for Biden, who never once in their life said, oh, gee, I think Biden would make a good president, who voted for President Biden, and you have almost every journalist in the country, a rabid, loyal, Democratic partisan / activist masquerading as a journalist. That's what journalism is nowadays. You'll win a Pulitzer Prize if you devote your life trying to take down Trump. You will not win any prizes if you report on Hunter's emails, which actually are the definition. That's the definition of a breakthrough story. It's one of the most important stories. I mean, every 4 years, it's that type of story that takes down a candidate, and you had suppression, you had social media algorithms, you couldn't talk about it. You still can't really talk about it. Nothing, there's no, anything Trump says, anybody around him, there's this groupthink, this obsession with taking down Trump. Meanwhile, you have Democrats who let the moratorium on evictions expire. They weren't focused on that. They didn't vote for Medicare for all or Green New Deal legislation, yet they talk about the planet ending, oh my God. And then they talk about wealth inequality, but they didn't pass any legislation to extend the moratorium. They had to rely on a government agency to do it for them. They're still focused on Trump in January. Well, then indict him. Why don't you level charges? Why didn't the mayor of D.C., why didn't the attorney general of D.C. level charges? This is why 74 million Americans voted for Trump, and will vote again. Because the system is completely not only unfair and skewed towards Democrats, nothing they say is either very few things they say are accurate. Most of it it's just pure hyperbole. They obsess over Trump's tax returns. They couldn't find anything. They have his tax returns. Trump working with Russia. The Mueller probe found nothing. They never indicted him or charged him in a court of law. And the good things that he did, record low unemployment. He focused on the economy. We had record low unemployment. Is this not a fact? What's worse? What's a better existence? Record low unemployment and Trump's tweets and the media meltdown every day? Record low Black and Latino unemployment, wages increasing, or inflation soaring, crime at record highs, a moratorium on evictions ending, and shutting down the entire American economy in a paranoid and completely irrational response to something that was very serious, that's still very serious. But you don't tank life as we know it. You don't do that for a year and a half. And then gleefully say, well, we can't open it up, And you knew that it would hurt Trump's chances. So, the political motive was there. It wasn't just trying to protect people. There was a political motive there as well. But ladies and gentlemen, President Trump stands for something. He negotiated a deal to bring Americans home from never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. Biden is continuing that. He leveled tariffs, serious tariffs at China. Biden is continuing that. Abraham Accords, Biden is continuing that. His foreign policy breakthrough with North Korea and South Korea has asked President Biden to continue with that foreign policy. So there are things that the Orange Menace did that were very good for the country and for the world. The apoplectic reaction of his detractors shouldn't be That's not something that overshadows the good things that he did. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Be here tomorrow at about 3 p.m. Pacific. If you want to support this channel, this segment, the super thanks is below. There's a reason 90% of Republicans, 88 to 90% of Republicans, love Trump. There's a reason he's more popular than Reagan. It's because he did good things. Now, if he just toned down the rhetoric a little bit, it's game over for Democrats, especially in 2022. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now.